Live and recording.
Yo, yo, yo! Second episode of the Coffee Club podcast coming at you live and direct. A bit of a serious opener for this one. Obviously, coming off a disappointing loss last night. I think this podcast is a good way for us to talk to the fans and let them know our feelings. I guess I think some sports fans just see us on the court or something, and they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes or after games and stuff. So I think this is a good way of them to find out. And I think a good thing for them to know is how we deal with losses on a personal level. Me personally, obviously I take it hard during the game and straight after the game, but at the same time, I know that there's bigger things than basketball. Like I go to the locker room, I'm upset, and then I check my phone, and I've got like messages from my family, see my girlfriend, and just feel like the basketball's done. Like there's bigger things, you know. How do you guys deal with losses?
Yeah, for real. Firstly, good to be here. Secondly, I think what you said is correct. I think after a loss like that, you know, there's so much effort and time prior to that game that goes into it. It can be sometimes all-consuming and tough to move on for. I was definitely in my own head a little bit after the game, you know. Yeah. But like, I think someone said it last night, it's like you can either sit there and feel sorry for yourself or you can move on and start, because we played 46 hours after that final whistle. So you got to move on and use it as motivation, like just add more motivations for your recovery. You know, we went and had like a crazy hot sauna last night for like 15 minutes, the hottest sauna I've ever had in my life. It was crazy. Yeah. And then just got better from that, and then move on, and then like you said, just check in with family and get away from it for a tiny bit, then refocus. So.
Exactly, and I think that's where like everyone on this team is boys, man, and we got special bonds on this team. Like after the game, I think nighttime I came into your guys' room and we just chopped it up, talked, and we were laughing already. I think that's important, having guys on your team that you get along with. I think that definitely helps.
Yeah, that's the thing, is team success equals individual success.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you're sitting in your own head going, man, I should have played better. Yeah. You know, the only people you're actually hurting is the team.
Exactly, and anyway. I think you hit on it. What about you, E?
Welcome to Easy Batch.
Easy Batch is in the house.
Good to have the thing back rolling again. No, I mean, you guys kind of covered it. It's different in some situations, like if it's like for example, like a final and you can't kind of go back and do it again, then it's a little bit worse. But in our situation right now, we still have a chance. So it's all about moving on and getting ready for that next one. So, I mean, initially right after the game I was a bit upset. I always feel like I could do more personally, whether it be my performance physically or chipping in verbally and helping out with whatever might be needed during the game, but I mean, you guys pretty much covered it. It's all kind of, it's pretty similar. Like I think laughter is one of the main things. Like like you touched on it, coming back here afterwards and just having a yarn and spitting some banter, having a bit of laugh, put some music on, and just kind of forgetting about it for that little bit. It's kind of nice. So, I mean, that's kind of how I roll with it. I'm pretty chill anyway. So.
And there's some guys that just go to their room and can't talk to anyone, but I don't think there's any point in doing that. The game's already done. There's no point in it eating away at you. It's just you're just gonna overthink things, and maybe it'll affect your next game. So,
especially in this situation, like the prep for the Montenegro game started the second that buzzer went. You know what I mean? In terms of like nutrition recovery. And even just on the coaches, we're already thinking game plan, and then we were even talking about it last night a little bit about, you know, the next opponent, and they're such a different team, so you have to switch like that. You have to be tough enough to just move on and think about the team.
And shout out to the coaches. I think I told Paulie and Ross this after the game, but that was probably the best scouted game I've ever been a part of. Like we
we had it all on lock.
The Brazilians were bringing up the ball, and after the first pass, we knew exactly what play they were in, and we jumped into it. So they definitely put us in the best position to win that game. So I just want to give credit to them.
Yeah.
Definitely. We've got young coaches, but they're definitely definitely passionate. I think Ross, all he thinks about and does is basketball,
Yeah.
which is
too,
admirable.
Yeah.
And Paulie just knows his stuff, and obviously the experience that Pero brings is huge for us.
Yeah.
But that Brazilian game. What do you guys want to touch on anything on the Brazil game?
Yeah, I guess on a lighter note, I mean, it was game one, so it was my first World Cup game.
Yeah. How was that?
Yeah,
How was
I've been
that?
a part of,
Both
so-
of you. How was it being out there on your first World Cup?
It was like I thought it had hit me the day of the game, but it hadn't really until I kind of went out on the court and I could feel the heart going a little bit. But it was nothing. It wasn't like bad nerves. It was just I was just super eager. Like I just wanted to get going. I wanted to start playing. Like I mean, what's his name? Andrew Barbosa, Anderson Varejao. They're PG Huertes. Like playing these guys is, I mean, they're good, man. So they had those hype videos up above us when we were warming up too. So I mean, I had a wee peek and looked up at there, and I was just like, man, this is cool. Like, this is about to be my first World Cup game. So, and I got in and then hit my first shot that I took. So it was a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't end how we wanted, but I mean the initial game one, my first time ever playing the World Cup was pretty cool, pretty special.
Yeah, definitely. The excitement levels, the adrenaline levels was pretty high. Like the World Cup, something that we were talking about ever since. I can remember talking about it when we were in Lebanon, Asia Cup. What was that? 2016, 2017, maybe years ago. It's basically started the build up, and to be here, it was crazy. Just the energy in the building was pretty crazy. And then the first couple of possessions, I just remember being a little bit too hyped up. But once you settle in, it's basketball games are basketball games, so you just focus in. But it was cool.
Yeah, it's always those first few positions that it's just like balls to the wall.
Yeah.
But man, I feel like we started quite well. First 2 quarters we were running on theirs. I think we did quite well.
There was one thing I said, people were like, what's it going to be like? And I was like, it's going to be fast. It's the one thing I said, I was like, it's going to be a fast game. But once we started moving, I was just like, dang, this is quick. But it was fun though, it felt right.
Definitely.
It was one of the games where it really felt like we took ownership of that style of gameplay.
And there's always a point where you look at our oppositions and they realize that they're going to have to do this all game with us. And it's pretty good seeing them oh man, not again. They got to run with us. But
man, I remember a point in the second quarter we were shooting free throws, and the big man Felicio, this is the point where I was like, damn, we're gonna win this.
Yeah.
We're about to take this out because it was the second quarter, but he was on the floor on all hands and knees, sitting in a squat position. I was like, damn, he's done,
Yeah.
Whoa. But I was like, damn, but credit to him, actually. He played hard the whole game and stayed with it, but I was like, damn, I thought we were about to run these guys.
Man, it was just, we felt like we were doing good things on offense, but then we just weren't getting stops. It was just little things.
Yeah.
And that's what killed us in the end. Going into halftime, I felt like we had them. We got these guys.
Yeah.
Got them on the ropes. They don't want to run with us.
Yeah.
We were It was a pretty cool feeling, and then obviously the game ended. It was cool seeing some stuff on social media of people saying they love just seeing when Tall Blacks play that kind of they play with a lot of heart and stuff as opposed to pointing at negative things throughout the game. It's cool seeing that stuff despite winning or losing. When people come out with positive stuff. So
there's been a lot of teams at this tournament that have been blown out. You've seen already 4 or 5 teams have lost by 40, 50 points. It's good to see that we always had fight. But in that third quarter when they took the lead, I just saw the relief on their face. They were relieved, man. They didn't expect to get out there like that. So it's a tough one to swallow, but we move on, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything else to touch on that game?
No, man. I guess we've talked about it so much today as a team and stuff. So I mean, I'm sure people understand we don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. The good thing is we get to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
Montenegro next game. That's the way.
Of this situation, you have another chance to go out and get it.
Montenegro's got some big dogs, so it's going to be similar to Brazil. They just don't run as much, but we'll get to that when we come. But let's get back on our positive path, eh?
Let's do it.
Let's get some laughs in this thing. I've got a little gift for Easy Batch here.
Wait, whoa.
Whoa! It's just to keep your mustache and shine. Just put out a little mini mustache comb for Easy Badge to keep his
Was that
mustache in
comb
order.
keyring?
Man, I searched all over China for this thing, man.
It's dope, but
Yeah, just to keep
That's crazy.
the team's best mustache in shape, man.
That's awesome.
There you go.
works a treat. Gotta keep them knots out, you know.
Sure. While we're on the topic of Easy Batch, gonna swing this thing, and our next topic of conversation is, I wanted to touch on. We talk a lot in the off season, and and you know, in this like what we want to talk about is basically Ethan's off season he had from 2018 New Zealand NBL to 2019 NBL. You obviously didn't play anywhere, which you should have, but you didn't play anywhere in that off season. And then a lot of people were like, how did this guy get so much better between those two ended seasons with having, how long was that off season? 8 months? 7 months maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me say, like, from the last time I saw you to like now,
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I was like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Like a brand new player, knockdown shooter. So yeah, talk about what went into the improvement.
Because I know what you do because we've talked about it so much.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
wait for this story to get out and people to hear because this shit is crazy.
I mean, yeah,
Just straight work ethic. Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk. You talk about your off season. Give us a day in the life, maybe that you did it. This
that's work lives. That's basically it.
More in depth.
No, yeah. So obviously, I want to get like contracts and stuff outside of the New Zealand League, because there's a lot better basketball being played out there in the world that I want to be a part of and kind of show my game and be a part of that too. So, finding motivation sometimes can be kind of hard. Like if I don't get a contract, I'm just kind of like, no, man, that's mud. But then I don't. So another one of those things, I don't really dwell on it. I don't want a regular job, so I have to put in as much work as I can to put myself in the best position to play at a high level. So, I mean, if I was to go through like a day in the life of like a last off season, I'd probably go like 3-4 training sessions a day. But that's just not on court. Like that'll be like maybe 2 on court and then a couple in the gym. So I'll get up in the morning, I'll go lift, and then I'll go get an on court session. Sometimes that was me paying like $6 to go to Whanui gym in Riccarton and using like half a court when the rest of the court's being used by like a bunch of like Filipino dudes just trying to play full court and stuff, asking me if I want to play. But yeah, sometimes it would just be me being there, getting up like at least 500 makes, and it was 95% of the time I'll just be rebounding for myself. So it was just shoot, chase it, get a chair, grab a cone, and do some other stuff. Try to do all kind of stuff and try and, I guess, mimic as best I can what a game situation would be with one person in a cone. So I mean, sometimes it felt like I was just kind of headbutting a wall a little bit, but I mean, I'm not going to get any better if I'm just sitting there. So I thought at least the least I can do is actually be in the gym working. After those workouts, I go to F45 Riccarton. Shout out F45 Riccarton.
F45, boy.
Yeah, they keep my lungs in check all the time. Dan Montgomery in particular, he was always hurting me, man. Like putting me on the assault bike, the rower, getting me on the pads. He was cooking me daily. So having that was pretty good in terms of keeping my lungs in check. And then after that, I would try to get like an evening session on court, whether it be just shooting by myself or with a partner, or if we could get like a run in, get a bunch of guys down, just organise a little run and play for a couple hours just to get some game reps in. But I mean, in a nutshell, that's kind of what I did, and it was just a very repetitive process. It was I'll just do pretty much the exact same every day. Sometimes I didn't have gym access, so if I couldn't get into Whanui, like that, the gym I paid $6 at, then I'd just go, I'd like text a few people. Some of the Canterbury Rams organisation, they helped me out a little bit. They let me use their facilities a little bit when they were available. So that was much appreciated too. That helped big time. But yeah, I mean, depending on availability, like sometimes it can be pretty hard getting access to gyms and stuff like that to get basketball skill work in. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, especially with the growing popularity of basketball in New Zealand. It's getting harder and harder to find a gym nowadays. There's always like a school game on or like school training, which is cool to see, but it just gets hard for us to find somewhere to work out. You have to work out during the day when school's actually on, eh?
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Like that just, I mean, it's a testament to how far you've come and how much improvement you put on with how much you work, I think.
Yeah, it's
It is.
definitely good getting recognised. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm the only one on the team that hasn't got a gig at the moment, so it's kind of not cool, but in a way it is cool seeing that.
But you see how many people think you should have a gig. Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that should be cool as well.
Yeah, no, that's cool because people just see you. Like last night, you checked in, and this is against Brazil in the World Cup, probably the biggest basketball game you ever played in your life. After coming off a New Zealand season and nothing before that, and you catch and shoot that in the corner, first touch of the ball, probably first position playing.
Whop.
Wop. And then the other three we made was like we watched in films. They 2 seconds of the shot clock, hand in your face, whack. You know, people just see that and it's like, well, actually, what's the work behind that? That's 500 made shots by yourself,
Yeah.
paying for a gym in Rickerton after doing some functional 45-minute work.
Like, that's crazy.
That's
man.
crazy to me because any basketball player listening to this, you know how hard rebounding for yourself. That's the
Yeah.
thing that amazed me.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
500
easy.
minutes.
It's easy if you make them all.
I'm not used to that.
It'll take me like twice as long as you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Congrats, bro. That's cool.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I did at times have rebounders though, so if you ever rebounded for me throughout these off seasons, it's much appreciated, even if the passes were average. But you never get a perfect pass anyway. But yeah, I mean that's my off season really.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, while we pull up the Twitter questions, I just want to give Sneaker Ventures a shout out.
Shout out Sneaker Ventures.
Shout out Sneaker
My
Ventures.
guy,
Shout out Sneaker
I
Ventures.
got Woody Carter,
Yeah,
Hamilton.
Nate had a wee. He mentioned us in his Instagram story, so we couldn't go past without giving him a shout out.
Yeah. And I'm size 15, so if you want to sponsor your boy for the European season, just let me know, and I'll put your name out there as well.
Yeah,
If you guys listen to this, like basketball in general, like kicks, like the LA Lakers, you need to get on Instagram and follow Sneaker Ventures. This guy's got the craziest shoe collection I've ever seen, especially from a Kiwi, and probably the most diehard sports fan I've ever seen. And he
the man likes the Lakers. I'm
likes
just
the
gonna throw it out
Lakers. We're
there.
gonna put it out there. You guys will see when you get on there. But extremely generous with what he does for some of us with shoes. Like on tour for 6 weeks, he's managed to get me some shoes all the way from New Zealand to China, which is hard to do. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And you know, Isaac's a big fan of yours now. He's playing for Trisco next year. What's that, blue? Like light blue?
Yeah, like blue.
Size 15, but
Yeah, blue or white shoes.
Yeah,
man.
my Kobe's popped. What do I do? Do I bring them back?
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. If you guys are looking for shoes or kicks or just like seeing that sort of stuff on Instagram, go give him a follow. It's well worth it.
Here's
Well
the
worth
plug.
it.
Here's the plug. I don't know how he
Yeah.
does it, but somehow he gets his hands on some of the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaker Ventures.
Sneaker
Sneaker
Ventures.
Ventures.
Thank you, bro.
Sure, brother. All right, we got some questions here. Here's one from Instagram. Anything special you do before every game? Any pre-game rituals? That's from Sarah69 Illy. What about you guys?
Does she like shake Illy by any chance?
I don't have any like crazy routine in terms of I have to do this. I just like to have a coffee before I go. And then I just like to feel loose. I don't like to overthink anything,
Yeah, yeah.
be in my head at all. Just kind of talk to my teammates, get shots up, feel loose, feel good. The work's done by that point, so just go and try and enjoy it and focus on the game.
Yeah, I'm not really. I never thought I was much of a like ritual guy in terms of preparing for games and stuff. I guess the only thing now that I didn't really realize was a thing until the Hawk season was wearing my sweatband on my shooting hand. So like if I forgot it, then Dion Brewster would always remind me. He'd be like, "Oh, I forgot your sweatband." He's like, "No," like. So he made that like a conscious thing in my head. So if I forget it, then I'm like, nah, I need to go get my sweatband. So if anything, it would be remember to bring my crusty ass sweatband.
Yeah, mine's the same as Finn's. Just trying to stay relaxed. I think if you get over anxious or nervous, it kind of messes with your game. And I'm always just a relaxed player. I like to just play my game, you know. But I know that Rob Lowe, he has to sit in like a certain seat on the bus on the way to the game, or else he spazzes out and thinks he's gonna have a bad game. So there is some guys on the team with certain superstitions. This is one from Instagram Live. Who's your favorite roomie on the tour and why? Obviously you two.
Mine's got to be Finn.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been my roomie for the longest when it comes to these tours. So we have some pretty funny moments in our room. That's more of after dark session.
What? Hold on.
What's going on here?
I don't second that. Yeah, Ethan's my favorite. We've been rooming together for a long time. Sometimes the walls start caving in when you've been on tour for a long time, so we do end up doing some funny stuff, some room parkour and all sorts of it. Good roommate, Ethan.
Yeah, bro, I'm easy. I don't really. Well, there's some guys I don't really. But yeah, Ty, Chili. Just Ty takes like 5 squirts a day. He's sometimes on an all fruit diet, and he's always in the toilet just squirting, bro, taking up all the toilet paper. So that's just one negative. But nah, that's my boy. So we get along, and we're on the same page. He loves to nap. I have a couple of naps as well. So yeah. From Twitter, who did Tom's fade? Who's?
Yeah, this got mentioned. It was like a little bit too late after the first podcast. We got done doing that one, but I can't remember who it was. It might have been Hugh. I think it was Hugh. And he said, "Who did Tom's fade? When's he going to finish it?" It actually was slightly faded. I don't know if you guys know, but Tom's not big on the older like fades and stuff like that. So if you remember his last haircut, it was kind of just short around the sides and a little bit longer on top. All I did was just take the top off and then tidy the edges up. So if I had it my way, I would have gone like a zero fade. I don't know if that's his whole thing. So
before that haircut, he had the same haircut for like 15 years.
I was asking him.
He had the Tom Abercrombie.
The Tom Abercrombie.
Like if you go to a barber, you just ask for the Tom Abercrombie, they'll give you that.
Anywhere on the North Shore you walk on,
Yeah.
you get that.
They know what to do.
Here's a quick one: Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts?
I gotta go crispy, eh?
Shout out my boy
really
Shelly.
put me on that on the
Krispy
old
Kreme.
glaze, yeah.
I can't really answer this. I don't really know the difference.
No, I don't even need donuts. that
I
much,
just
but-
don't put what she says.
Well, there's shout out Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Krispy Kreme for my man Shaley loves that stuff. So.
Another quick one: PS4, Xbox. For me, it's always been PlayStation. I'm all about PlayStation. I don't think I've ever owned an Xbox, and I'm on PS4 playing Fortnite during my professional season. I'm on there all the time. So if you wanna add me on my PSN, Sex42 or SexNZ42. I'll put it on my Instagram if you wanna play with your boy.
Yeah, I have to say PlayStation 2. If I think, not PlayStation 2, but PlayStation as well. When I was a kid, I always used to want a PlayStation, the grey PlayStation 1 with the cord controllers and the memory cards, like all that kind of thing. So ever since then, I've always sort of PlayStation. And I think when the Xbox came out, the controllers were like the size of a freaking. Do you ever remember those ones? The ones with the cords? The controllers were huge, but like, even in our hands, like they were massive. So they started getting better. Like it's better now, but I was PlayStation from the start, so I'll say I'll rock out with that, even though I've never owned a console in my life.
Yeah. Here's one. What would be a non-New Zealand player to add to the Tourplex? Is that like someone you played with, or just anyone?
No, like I guess
anyone.
Yeah, the way it was formatted, I just kind of wrote it down
Right.
in shorter words. But I was saying if you could play with a non-New Zealand player in the Tourplex, who would it be? Mine would have to be Marcus Whoopi. He was one of my favorite teammates of all time. Like I wouldn't want to remove anyone from this team, but
Yeah,
if I could,
just
like,
add
I
him.
just want to add him. That dude is like, he's one of the best teammates I've ever had in my life. He's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, that's my one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say my good mate Kyle Adnam. Just like you said, don't remove anyone, but he's just a great teammate, great person to have would be a great person to have on these tours. So yeah, Kyle Adnam.
Is this just guys you played with?
Guy you just played with the Kiwis, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a couple I could choose. I met a lot of players in my playing time. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe LeBron James.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
could
if it
make
was
our
people we
team
didn't-
better.
If it was people we didn't know, dude.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not
imagine
LeBron?
him.
I know him on Instagram.
Where's those would you rather questions?
Would you rather questions? All right, this
Yeah.
is coming from our Berlin correspondent Mac Delaney.
While it's pulling us up, does Pledge have hair product supply? That was a question.
Oh yeah, what were they asking if he had like a storage supply?
yeah.
Oh, one Twitter question was, does Alex Pledger have his own ensuite everywhere we go for his hair products? That's 100% true. He demands it. He's got a big ensuite for all his hair stuff.
He's the hardest person to have in a team. He's so demanding.
Shout out Pledge. All right, we have a couple would you rathers. So, firstly, this is one for you can get this one first. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson once or talk like Mike Tyson for the rest of your life?
No,
I might just fight him.
Once, get over and done with it.
Yeah, I'll fight him. Right now, I'll fight him now. He's probably still like I've
Bro,
seen some stuff. He's still crazy.
He's still got it, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like if you fight him once, you might end up talking like
But
that
if
for the rest of your life.
I'm going with the talk like him for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I
actually,
don't want
you
that.
might get permanent brain damage if you fight him, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm like going outside the box a little bit. Like if he like pushed me, I'm falling over. Like I'm knocked out like, on first touch, and then have to fight over. But if I have to like stay standing for like a minute or something, then yeah, I don't know.
Alright, we got one more. This one's a good one. Would you rather change gender every time you sneeze or not be able to tell the difference between a muffin and a baby?
Well, that muffin and baby won't be dangerous, man. You could get in a lot of trouble, especially if you like muffins.
Take a bite out of some lazy muffin.
Wait, what?
Man, I just think once spring comes around, the hay fever season starts coming, things are going to get real tricky when you start changing your gender. Things are going to get real complicated.
You just better hope that sneeze is coming too, boy.
We didn't get an answer for that, but
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's weird to think about stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'll do the muffin and baby thing and just avoid muffins and babies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that'd be tough. Yeah. I'll go with the muffin and baby one.
Imagine having a kid.
Yeah. Here's one. Is a pair of glasses for real or are they for fashion? No, I've put them on and he's blind as he's blind as a whoa. Yeah, they're definitely real.
definitely for real.
But he does need a new hat.
Someone give Piero a new hat, please.
Yeah. Come on, New Era, someone sponsor your boy. What's your favorite basketball shoes to play in?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Since we were talking about that before, I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to think back, but the Kobe 4s that I did just get from at Sneaker Ventures were like they were unreal. Like when the heel popped, I was pretty upset.
Yeah.
But from memory, going back to how long ago, I can't think of how long ago, but these are the best shoes I've had in a long time. Kobe 4s.
Yeah, I think Kobe's have always been the best shoe, like most comfortable. I remember when I was a Breakers development player, we got free Kobe's, like Kobe 5s or 6s or something, and they're probably still my favorite shoes. The snakeskin ones we got, and they're super comfortable.
Yeah, Kobe's have always been up there growing up. I'm playing in the high dunk lows at the moment, just nothing too complicated. Just nice, comfortable, reliable.
Yeah,
Nike, can we
I
get
think
like a deal or something?
yeah, I think Nike has always been the best shoe. Adidas have come out with some nice ones lately, but still I think Nike is supreme, you know?
Yeah.
Or Nike, however you like to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Welcome back.
Sorry, toilet break. It was a toilet break. Sorry, we're back though.
Thanks, Easy Badge, for the special effects.
The special effects of a Yui boom in my hand and I just slowly click it up and down for volume.
This next question, talking points for you, Ike. Something that I think our viewers and even me and Ethan will be very interested to hear. We just want to hear a little bit about playing basketball professionally in Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe give us a day in the life and the best things about it and the worst things about it.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Well, I think it's funny that we're at a World Cup because the last World Cup we were at, I went professionally like straight after that. I was in college at University of Hawaii, and then with some circumstances, I left and ended up playing in Spain. And the reason I got to go straight to Spain is because I put up pretty good numbers at the last World Cup, so I think that's pretty cool. But I just want to say my first experience in Europe, I remember my agent dropping me off at the basketball club in Zaragoza, and I went to training, and then they showed me my apartment, and then they left me, and I was just in their apartment room alone. dropped my bags, and I was like, what the heck? I was all alone in Spain, don't speak the language. It was a trip. And then to make matters worse, they actually gave me the only car they had was a manual. I didn't know how to drive manual at the time. They took me on one lesson, bro.
Wow.
One lesson, and then just put me out on the open road, and I stole my ass off for like a month or something, but I finally got it, and it's probably a good thing that I can drive manual now. But the Euro life, I think it's definitely different to playing in Australia and New Zealand. Heard the practices are harder. I don't know how you guys practice, but there's a lot of tour days involved in Europe, especially with a Serbian coach, if you have a Serbian coach. I know Corey knows about that. But day in the life, you just wake up, training's around 10 usually. First one's weights and individuals. You get that over with, and then just head home, have lunch. Pretty good food in the places I've been, especially Spain. German food was pretty whack. I didn't really mess with that too much. And everywhere I go, every town I go to, I always find the best sushi spot. You know, I'm a sushi connoisseur, so I always find the best sushi spot wherever I'm at. And then, nighttime practice and then dinner, and it's just the same thing every day. Gets a bit of a grind, but it's all good. It's still a blessing to be able to play in Europe, playing the game I love as a professional.
Do you think moving to Europe? How old were you when you first went to Europe?
20. I was 20 actually. It was after the last World Cup.
Do you think having that experience as like a 20-year-old, like previously being in college, having that experience going pro at 20, living in Europe for what's that, 5 years now?
Yeah,
4 years now.
now.
Do you think that's helped you on a personal level?
For sure, yeah. Like looking back, it's helped me tremendously. I was blessed enough to play in Hawaii. Obviously, it's a beautiful place. But it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me is going professional early.
Yeah.
And being able to do it in Europe is just even more special. I learned to grow up very quickly, and we become independent. And I'm just happy how everything's turned out.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you mentioned that Corey was, he would have known about those Serbian coaches, but it's funny you actually mentioned that because
Oh yeah.
we've actually got
How ignorant of me. How was it playing in Serbia, bro?
Playing in Serbia. Oh, you touched on it. Just 2 days. You know, tough living. Serbia was like.
The Serbian coaches are known for being ruthless, like with that stuff.
Well,
And what was it like living in Serbia as well?
It was like exactly what I wanted out of the experience. Like it was tough. Grew a lot as a player. Like as you touched on, as a person as well. Serbia is a crazy place. They obviously it's just rich in history. That part of the world in terms of political issues with countries around them and all that sort of stuff. So you learn a lot about what the big old wide world is like and how life is so different to little old Nelson. So you grow a lot, you see a lot, and the basketball's tough and good. So I think it helped me out heaps.
Nice. All right, we got special guest Corey Webster in the house.
Corey Webster in the house!
Yeah.
first guest appearance.
First guest.
Yeah.
This
What's
news-
good, fellas?
He's just making a
He's just
coffee.
making a
over there.
coffee.
Give himself a brew.
Welcome to the Coffee Club podcast, the New Zealand's own flamethrower, Corey Webster, boy.
Got hot last night.
Thank you, my
It's
guys.
tradition around here that when you rock in, you got to take a slurp out the cup.
Take a slurp.
Let that one, let that one.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for inviting me to this prestigious
No problem.
Coffee Club podcast. Consider myself a bona fide coffee drinker
Yeah,
myself. So,
I was gonna ask, what's
I'm
your
happy to be
go-to coffee?
to be honest, I like to switch it up,
Yeah.
but my go-to is kind of like I like the coconut flat whites, but I switch it up. Like I go mocha,
Yes,
the
sir.
coconut milk. I go long blacks. So yeah, I like to switch it up a little bit.
Yep, best way to be.
For sure.
All right, well, we may as well jump straight into it. We've got some, we had a few common questions that we've answered on the first episode, so we're going to fire them back at you, and we're going to see we're going to get your opinion or your answer on some of them. So Ike's got a few over there for you. Fire them at him, brother.
Yeah, we talked about this at the start of the podcast, but how do you deal with losses? We have our own way of dealing with losses. How do you deal with losses? Like everyone has their different ways.
To be honest, that's tough.
Yeah.
Like I consider myself a competitor, and I hate losing more than I love winning. And fuck.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa,
whoa.
Sorry, I've been listening to a little bit of Joe Rogan. Yeah. But
Now you good, bro. Just
No, like-
whatever goes.
it's tough for me because I'm quite internal, like with
Yeah.
my thinking, and I get down on myself a bit, especially if I've lost the game and I haven't performed up to my standard. But you know, I try to move on quickly. You know, obviously, you know, we all reflect on the game and think about things that we could have done better and stuff. And I guess there's no real answer for how to deal with losses. And I think over time, with the experience and playing, you just kind of learn how to move on. Or
Yeah.
especially in a tournament, maybe shift your focus to the next game.
Mm.
But it's not easy. It's not easy. You can't lie about that. So you know, I don't really have one thing that I really do, and it's hard to shut off after a loss. You know, you find yourself thinking about the game and all that. So I like, you know, just chuck on some good music and try and get back to some things you enjoy doing, whether it be, I don't know, hang out with friends, talk to the bros, or listen to some good music, watch a movie or whatever. But
Yeah, you touched on the one you have to move on quick. We touched on that
Yeah.
earlier. You have to have a quick memory, and especially in
Yeah,
this situation.
for sure, especially in a tournament.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. Like, you know, I hate losing.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. This next question I'm excited to hear answer for, Corey. The next is your dream coffee date. So, person dead or alive
Coffee
to
date.
have a coffee date
This has to
with,
be like a
Wow.
date.
and
Yeah,
coffee experience with dead or alive person, and location anywhere in the world. In the universe, maybe, because
We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that.
your thinking might transcend Earth. So,
Well,
you
I
have-
haven't been anywhere. But that's a tough one because there's a lot of people dead and alive that, you know, I respect, and I like to gain knowledge from and stuff like that. But oh man,
It's a tough one sometimes.
it is tough because there's not one. There's
Yeah.
not one, like, you know, like I said, there's a lot of people.
You can just list them if you want.
List them, yeah.
Like
I
top
don't know.
three
You
or
got
something.
top three?
Top three. Malcolm X.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'll explain why. Michael Jackson owned half of Sony, if you didn't know. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest recording company ever.
Mm.
And he owned the Beatles catalog. He owned
yeah.
like all these different people's musics, and like you got to be real, way ahead of the game to be doing that. And probably Michael Jordan, because I'm a hooper,
Yeah.
and he's the all-time GOAT to me. So
Yeah.
there's plenty more though. Like there's plenty
Yeah,
more. So but those will be a couple. Yeah.
Where?
Location.
Where? Whew. That's a tough one. Hawaii is my favorite place and
Yes,
that I've
sir.
been to, so I'd like to go to Hawaii with them just because you know the vibe there for me is
Yeah.
cool. But to be honest, just being in those people's presence would be enough. I wouldn't have to be anywhere special. I
Yeah.
could take them to my house. So,
Yeah, for
Yeah. Good
Know what I
setting.
mean?
I love it.
Simple, simple. Alright, obviously you've been a tour black for how many years now?
11 years, I think.
Yeah.
11 years. Jeez. So we'll touch on this. Just off memory, quick fire. What is your tour black memory? The one that kind of excites you the most?
World Cup was obviously up there, and then the first time I made the team for sure.
Obviously you've had the opportunity that not many people get playing alongside your brother, Corey Webster. What is that like to have the opportunity to actually play and start that 1-2 punch together in the world stage?
Yeah, for me, I'm real proud, like, to be standing next to my younger brother, like, seeing all the work that he's put in. Like, I've obviously watched him grow up and become a man, and like, I'm just so proud of that. And the honor of representing our country with him was a dream come true. And then, yeah, like, bro, it's an amazing feeling. It's like, and especially I know for our families to see that, that's the main thing, seeing the pride
Yeah.
and seeing them happy and
That's
supporting
dope,
us
eh?
doing that. It's pretty cool. Like, you've done it though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I've
yeah.
played
We've
with
done
his
it
brother
once.
and
It's
you know, he probably there would have been a possibility if he was healthy that he would have been here and
Yeah.
doing it as well. So you know, he knows, he
Must be
understands
dope.
what it's like.
You're a bit of a sneakerhead yourself. What's your favorite basketball shoe to hoop in? Ever? You can lift top 3 because
Ever.
you mess with a lot of sneakers.
I'm a Kobe guy. Like
Yeah,
the
that's what
Kobe
we're talking
4s, the ones that I'm wearing now are. Shout out Sneaker Ventures.
Yeah, we
Gotta
plug
shout them out.
them. We
We've
plug
been
I
on
them.
the
gotta shout the bro out. He's doing some big things in New Zealand, and there's a huge like open market for that there right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kobe 4s definitely. Kobe 5s I like, and Kobe 6s probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a big Kobe guy.
And
When I
you-
was younger, I used to hoop in the J's, but like as I got older and my feet grew a little bit, they just became too heavy and too bulky,
yeah.
and the shoe game has changed so much, so I can't hoop in the J's anymore.
Yeah. And top 3 rappers for you? Who's your top 3?
Ooh, Nas number 1, undoubtedly. And that's another tough one because I like so many. Like,
Yeah, I know you
you
do.
know, like there's like Nas I put above everyone,
Yeah.
but then after that it's like I can listen to from 10 to 2, like switch them up in any order. But I like Black Thought from The Roots. Lyrically, he's just amazing. And then I like Biggie, J. Cole, and those guys. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good
it's tough to really put them in order. There's
Yeah.
so many good artists, you know.
Corey, something we like doing on the Coffee Club podcast is doing some funny would you rather's. So I've got a funny one I wanna ask you. I hope it's funny. I hope some of our listeners have been following you on Twitter because you like to voice your nutritional views.
Yes, I do.
So this is the would
Health
you
is
rather.
wealth.
Voice any view really.
Hey, bro. Hey, don't shut up and dribble, bro. Speak your mind.
Would you rather, for the next year of your life, have to live in China and you cannot leave, or go anywhere you want but you have to and only can eat factory farmed Chinese beef?
Factory farmed Chinese.
Well,
beef.
factory
Is
Chinese
that-
beef. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just the worst Chinese
Right.
beef you can get. Or stay in China for the rest of the
Just for 1 year.
For 1 year.
I'd stay in China.
Stay in China anywhere you want.
And just eat rice and veggies and beans.
Rice, greens, and beans.
Rice, greens, and
Yeah,
beans.
the rice, greens, and beans. I think Corey was the OG of the rice, greens, and beans. Oh, he was just the rice and beans, fish and beans.
Fish and beans. But yeah, I couldn't eat that factory beef, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's not-
That would kill your inside, man. It's just-
Touching on eating like different foods. What is your diet right now? What is your current diet?
Like when I'm at home, it kind of changes. Like obviously on the road, you can't really stick to your diet like you want to. It's different, you know. It's just different. Like, but when I'm home, I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of pescatarian right now. I do eat a little bit of chicken sometimes, but like sometimes I have weeks when I'm just straight vegan, you know, and then sometimes I have weeks I never eat red meat though. Like when I'm home. And yeah, like some weeks I'm like, I don't want to eat any dead animals. Like, to me, like eating dead things is kind of like, yeah. But then some weeks I'm just like, I need some chicken. No, I need
Yeah.
'cause I love a fried chicken. So it changes, but I like to just stay healthy. I like to eat whole foods. You know, I don't eat, you know, like any processed stuff or, you know, try to eat as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
And
When
it's
did
changed over the
you
years.
did you notice a difference in your performance when you changed over from because you used to eat just anything, eh?
Yeah, I used to eat, bro. I used to be bad with my diet.
Yeah.
And you can probably tell, like, if you look at old photos, I was like puffed out and
Yeah.
like, you know, like baby fat and like. And then as I got older, I just realized, like, bro, I can't keep playing like that.
Exactly.
And wasn't recovering and all that stuff. And I noticed like the recovery changed the most, probably. Like, I'd recover way faster when I started eating healthy and just cut the weight and start moving better and all that stuff. Like, it's not rocket science, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you can see that on people when they become healthy. You can just see it in their body and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I got one for you then.
Oh, but there's no protein. Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein from?
Right.
Where do you get your protein from?
What do you say to that when people say that? Because it's a thing I hear all the time too.
I've learned to never argue with idiots. Finn knows that saying, bro. He said it to me before, but like protein comes from plants. It's made in plants, and the reason you get protein through animals is because they eat the plants. So, again, it's not rocket science. If you really want to read something, and all you have to do is read it and understand it, like.
Study up,
It's
people.
it's
Study up.
second-hand protein that you're eating. You still get the protein, but there's a better source of it if you actually are prepared to do it. But each to their own,
Yeah,
it's whatever.
sure.
Each to their own.
Easy. All right. Well, while we got you in here, to close off this episode, we're going to touch base on our next game.
Wait, one more question here.
Oh, you got another question for him?
What's a conspiracy theory that you fully believe in, like that you think
Yes.
is true? Because we know you believe some stuff.
Yeah.
What's one that you think is legit?
They're not conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Theories.
It's life.
To me, they're like just people who aren't like people who think for themselves and aren't like controlled by what's in the media or what's put out there.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot, and it's tough to really know whether to believe them or not. Like, because you can do a good job making a YouTube video and make it look real, and make it look like the conspiracy's facts. When it's
exactly.
Not, like,
a lot of
so
bias.
I'm like borderline. I'm on the fence, but I like to just look at both, and I'm not going to rule out
challenge
that
it,
they're true or they're not. But like 9/11's one for me that's like
I think the
pretty
government did it.
crazy. Yeah, like the government 100% involved. Don't know whether the planes hit the buildings or whatever. 'Cause I wasn't there to see it, but like I think the government had an involvement in that for sure. That's one.
Yeah, that's one. Any more? Come on, bro. Because
have you heard of the Pizzagate?
Yeah, I have.
The underground child sex trafficking and stuff. Like, there's been people arrested for it and stuff, and like obviously government people always get away with it, and then someone like a Hollywood movie star will take the rap for it or something. Like, did you see the lady off Smallville? Remember the TV show Smallville?
Yeah, I remember
this
that.
old Superman one. She got arrested for being involved in a sex trafficking ring.
Who, Lana?
Yeah, I don't know whoever the girl was. So like, people always take the rap. So there's one. That can be a conspiracy, even though there's facts behind it. The moon landing's another one.
Yeah, moon landing.
That's a buzzy one. Like, to me, how could they go to the moon now? I mean, then, and technology has advanced so much since then, but they should be constantly going to the moon now. Like,
yeah, that's a strange one.
like, if they could do it back then with the equipment they had, like if you look at that thing that landed on the moon, it was like tinfoil, like compared to what they have now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have like videos of people working in the space industry saying, "Oh, we can't get outside the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah.
Like you just can't." I'm like, oh, so how could you back then with worse technology? And whatever, there's heaps of them out there. And then vaccinations one too. That's a big one for the black community in America. I like to follow this guy called Reza Islam. You should check him out. He's part of the Fruit of Islam with Farrakhan. Yeah. And he's like big into. He's like a knowledge guy, and he drops heaps of videos and stuff. And he does a big one on vaccinations and stuff like that. So there's another huge conspiracy going on within the black community in America.
There's some good ones there. Alright, now you can ask your question.
Oh yeah, sorry. Back to just to close off this episode, we're going to touch base on our next game. We've moved on from the other one, like we said at the start. So we have Montenegro coming up. Corey, since you're with us, why don't you start us off? What are your thoughts going into this second game?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's another European team, which are always tough, well drilled. But it's a winnable game for us, a very winnable game. As you can see, we compete with the best teams, and sometimes we don't walk away with the results, but we're right there. We just need to get over the line, like just that extra little push. Through the line! It's usually only like 5 minutes in a game where we like, lose focus mentally or, let the team have another run. And if we can clean those up, then we're going to beat these teams. And Montenegro, they're big, but they're slow, and we're playing fast right now. 1 through 5 for us can run the floor, so that's going to be huge.
Yeah, we were talking about like you just see sometimes on teams' faces when they realize they have to run with us for the whole game.
Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want those problems, like we just have to be more consistent with it. And if we get stops, then no team can stop, and no team can stop us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but we're locked in. Got another practice today.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sure.
Another practice for a walk in. Finn, what are your thoughts going in? Obviously, you're one of the guys that's going to guard some of their bigger dudes, NBA level talent. So
Yeah, I think these guys just see that we have to beat them at our game, play the game at our pace. They don't want to run with us, so I think that's the key to us offensively and their defense. Just like you said, it's got some big bodies, some big buoys down low, so have to take that physical challenge and also just throw some different looks at them. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, they got some big boys, man. That's all. Even the bench bigs are like very high level players in Europe, so we're gonna have to beat them at our game. But there's no way we're not gonna beat them inside. So yeah, we just have to run on their ass.
Which we will.
Yeah, we will. And
Can't wait.
while we're one of the sponsors last week was Ike's Plantation. That's what me and so our plan is to after we retire, we're gonna open a pineapple plantation in Hawaii. Me and Corey are gonna be riding around on our horses, checking on the plantation.
Serving the best pineapples on the
Yeah,
land.
bro.
Just keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Ike's Plantation.
Ike's
I'll be out the
Plantation.
back of my little shack. and, doing some
What else are we gonna grow on it?
some good growing.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. And as always, got some good sponsors here. Newzest. It's hard on the road to get the right protein sources and stuff. So Newzest is keeping the boys fueled. Also Sujon. Bar 42, as always. It's a spot to go to if you're in Auckland. I know Manu's got some new homebrew on tap, so go check that out.
Thanks, Manu Fotu.
Yep. And Nescafe, keeping the boys fueled for these podcasts.
Thank you.
And also our practices. Easy Best Barbers.
Thank you.
Shout out Easy Best Barbers, keeping the boys fresh.
Easy Best had Corey fresh for the game, boy.
My girl said, "Who cut your hair?"
Shout out to one of our #1 fans, J Boog.
J-Boog,
What you do, baby?
Shout out, baby.
Joe, the media guy. Joe, mate.
Joe
Thank
can
you.
do with that, mate.
These only get released because Joe does all the editing and puts it up online. So shout out to Joe.
Shout out, Joe. Thank
You
you.
might not think there's a lot of editing going on. We like to keep it, real.
raw.
So we don't
Keep
want
it raw, right?
Yeah.
And our main man AD. Who wants to say something about AD, man?
AD, so AD, Andrew Dewhurst, Tallbacks manager, he does more for us than we know. He's organising everything, running to the store, grabbing the boys, then the teller. He's the one that supplies us with the Nescafe from the store. So shout out AD, thank you for all you do. We appreciate you.
Great man.
Great man. And Sticky Fingers. They're going to be in Auckland soon,
Well,
aren't
forget
they?
money.
Sticky Fingers, yeah. Hook the brothers up. And Corey, any last words to end on? Any wisdom from the man himself?
Any wisdom?
Don't argue with idiots.
Don't argue, exactly, bro. Don't argue with idiots.
You heard it here first, don't
Thank you guys.
Yeah, all
Appreciate
good.
you having me on.
Thank you.
Episode 2.
We out.
We out of here. 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 Out of here.